watching the video. In this one, I'm actually going to be helping for both new players and returning players. And did you know there's actually four types of, say, plans, you gotta find in a quest and so forth, for when you go for your items, for either whether it's an armor piece or weapons piece. And this mainly came uncontroversial for when coming across the four-star legendary mods. I'm like, some of the guys I know don't realize you can actually scrap them and you can actually get the plants to make the four-star mods. So it's not just one or two people, it's quite a few. And it's mainly because they weren't around when the four-star mods actually dropped. And they made them available to be scrapped and so forth to learn the plants. So I'm gonna show you the best example on to keep an eye out, and that's actually in the my armor workbench. And when you go into crafting, don't forget for since I'm on PlayStation, you hit toggle for unlockable, and that's my touchpad. So I come down here to outfits, and this is the best way I can show what I'm talking about. And we all know you have that either for a symbol or the atomic symbol for unlocking atomic shop. That's one way. But as I cruise my way down farther into the list, a few items that are ghost out and don't have either symbol, say the nuclear winter Lenin's jacket. I'm never going to get this. This is something that came around, I believe, 2021 for with Volt 51 with the whole nuclear winter event. That's never really going to come around as far as I know. So I'm not sure how many new players are going to get this or so forth, but it's actually more of a show of respect for veterans players who actually wear this. So, stuff that do matter would be like, here's a fine item, the Radiation Quack outfit. Now that goes to a quest I haven't completed on the becoming a Ghoul. And once you do, you get this plan with becoming a Radiation Quack Doctor outfit. So that's number two. Now, seasonal survival outfit is another plan I have to look around for. I believe that's actually in, say, Gibbsy for trading the stamps. And let's see here. The other one I'm trying to find correctly real quick, I know I just saw it a while back, was one you can actually scrap on outfit. And I believe, well, I'm not finding the outfits like I was hoping to find, but actually the combat helmet. It's actually an item you just scrap a whole bunch and you should be able to learn the plan. Now, I found this by mistake when I was working with my ghoul. So I scrapped, I believe, 5 was the 10 combat helmets I actually found throughout the Appalachia, and I was able to learn the plan how to craft a combat helmet. Yes, it's the same helmet that doesn't have a little light that actually works. So, but they do give you skins to go with it, which I'm okay with, but I still would like having working light on top. Same with the metal helmet. It's actually a scrap item. You collect about, I would say, between 10 and 20, and you can actually loan the plants. Now I come over to my workshop, our tinker bench. Found a device that actually has something I already learned. Trying to find something that actually be a good item to show you one, and the best way would actually just be my four stars, like scrapping. As long as it says scrapping, you just scrap the item, whether it's the mod box or the weapon that actually has it applied to it. Whether it's power armor itself for the human body, or a weapon. So, yeah, like I just am trying to say is, don't forget to check out your options on the Toggle Unlockables, because it tells you which item you gotta keep eye out for. And like I'm going to show in a little bit here. Now I have my character here, my human I should say, with my specials at 55. I usually do it if I have a team of 4 and try to get my special up to about, I say 70, 75 on a good day if I can with night. Let's see, brain bombs because I'm herbivore and I get 6 intelligence. And then I need my berry medtats. I usually keep these 2 around, but even though it says you get 4 intelligence, I only get 3. Actually, it says 5, so we'll always gain 1 less. So berry medtats, my brain bombs, go back to my stats, and I'm sitting at 65. With a full team, I'm at about 69, and I believe there's a few items you can eat or drink, I believe. It can increase that up to 70, if not 80. And I'll show you in a little bit here the list of other food items you actually get across later on in the video. I might just do that in another video, just in general, to help you scrap and make your life a little bit easier. So, as you can see, I have my Ghoul kit to create a whole bunch of combat armor helmets to do this video, and I'm going to just start scrapping them. As you can see, shows me chance to learn. That's something when you go to scrap something, see if it has a text of chance to learn the combat helmet mod. And right there, I just learned it. And that was what, 5, 6 helmets? So the rest of these I can just scrap and go on. But quad and a few other first store or even 3-store weapon mods are kind of hard to get your hands on. Same with Stalkers, I have noticed that it is a little bit touchy to get there, so I might make a video saying, Bethesda, we might need a specialized weapon to actually learn these plans. Because I know a few strategies when, say, you're going to the raids, actually need you to have either quad, furious, or even stalkers to get through certain areas of the game. It makes your life a little bit easier, if you ask me. So, I'm just going to scrap these real quick. And as you can see, that combat helmet mod is now gone, and it's just your basic. Now, before I do anything else, I do want to show, I try maxing my intelligence with both Legendary of 5 and my 15, so I get 20 right there. That's how I'm getting so much intelligence. And just to make my life a little bit easier, I also have the scrapbook to get more materials in case I'm working with something that I have the plan to, say, the Drill Fist. And that, if you scrap enough of these, you can actually get the combo breaker. So actually getting the 4-store plans throughout the raids, and this I'll be in another video, maybe I'll just do this at the end, is makes it easier so you can learn the 4-store weapons this way, because it's only costing you 2 modules, but everything else is much steeper in price, say the rubber, the screws, the steel, and aluminum. Aluminum I don't have that much right now because I haven't been farming it, and that's mainly because the raids don't drop any aluminum. I had to go throughout Appalachia and scrap a whole bunch of surgical trays or cooling caps because they drop out, I say 2 to 3 aluminum scrap. What was the other? Ah, yes, the Carlo Razor, which actually, to me, was the easiest way to learn vampires. So I'll go into these 4-store items actually in another video I just decided to do, and I'll just link that later on making everyone's lives a little bit easier. Now another thing I want to mention is, say you have the auto axe and you're not sure which type of ticket you want to spend for either electric, burning, or poison and turbo. This right here, when you use an unlockable toggle on your options bar, will let you know how it looks on your damage percentage, just as stand without any of your special stats coming into play too much, or any of the say perk codes, I should say. I think the stats are included. It's just the perk codes are not. So it looks like if anything, the so-called turbo mod doesn't do anything but add more weight. That's one particular stamp plan I would actually avoid. Where poison does help if you have vipers onto your auto axe, it does an additional 50% more damage to any enemy as it being poison. So yeah, this mainly comes in play as you say are looking for the plans for like any of your syringe, weapon mods, and so forth. I believe I have, yeah, all of them. A lot. That's why you're looking at a little tab there on the top right corner. Mods are locked on your weapons. So that way you know what's still there and what's missing. I believe I have just for everything. Do be careful with the Enclave plasma rifle or gun, I should say. It's the only one that has not been fully unlocked. Because as you can see, it says find. So that makes me think, okay, is that a quest we gotta look for? Or is that coming soon next season? Because I'm not quite sure what they mean because I have a few of the mod boxes, but yet we don't have the option of loading these plans, not yet. So don't be discouraged. I'm not sure what's going to be coming soon, but as soon as they do drop, I have a feeling it'll be next season when we get the option of, say, going for the Enclave mod boxes and scrapping them and actually loading the plans. So I wouldn't be surprised if a whole bunch of players start holding those within a week or two, or even after the season drops. And yes, I have learned the large bayonet, which is actually quite hard to get your hands on the mod box. But if you say you're working with a whole bunch of black powder rifles, you can actually learn to use a particular perk card, and that's super duper. I'm probably saying it incorrectly, but this one I've actually come across where I'm modifying a whole bunch of pieces, say my Gatling plasma caster, and believe it or not, for some reason I actually made a mod box through that and my Warhammer. So I'm like, okay, so that's one way to craft it. It's kind of hard to get the recording. I'll have to do that another time when I get a chance to get the materials and so forth because I'm kind of sure, as you saw a little bit ago, on the aluminum. So, can I get the quad plan? I highly doubt it. Even though I have what? I say 8? I usually have to have at least 20 of the same item to loan the plan. And honestly, I just loaned metal helmet, so. And yeah, just like that, I didn't loan any quads or the sneak attack mod. I just. No, sneak. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry. So yeah, this video is just here to help other new players and returning players to make it easier on them to learn the plans. So do keep an eye out. Some of them do actually have Find, which is actually a quest, like I showed earlier in the outfits, and some actually are like a Okay, so I do have everything now scrapped. Either way, it's either scrapped, fine, or look for the plan. And plans are actually easier because they are the ones that you get through a like a event. And then the atom shot ones are more of, well, of course, you spend atoms. But one plan I have not seen all these last two seasons, I should say, was it headwear? I think it was. Oh yeah, it would be helpful if I just activate the unlockable. So it's not just anyone who's having issues with it, but I haven't seen this Brotherhood still weak on helmet, even though it says unlock an atomic shop. Makes me wonder if it's like a special atomic shop item coming in next season. So, like I said before, if you do find, like on your list here, it says find, it's actually most likely a main quest item and not a event item you have to look for. So I hope this all helps everyone about a few things, tips and tricks, I should say, on getting everything you should get out of 476. So, say, where's my brewery? And make that a little bit easier. Ah, I'll link into the description. I did do a alcoholic video, and there was a particular spill, like a Shine 2, I believe it was Ghoul at the time, and that was two seasons ago, and I believe that was supposed to come out with the Ghoul character, so like a special, unique Shine that gave, I think, 10 times the rads, but I guess they decided not to drop it into the game. Anything you're missing in the, say I'm missing the cranberry moonshine, so I gotta go to Biv and Morgantown at Big Al's tattoo parlor, and he's a daily quest giver. So you'll get a random quest or should a random reward per day, but it won't be the same like unlockable item plant you've been getting. So with that, I'm not sure if you'll get all your recipes for making alcohol and so forth, but I do know Nougat Dog is the hardest one to get a hold of, and the one that most players usually spend trade with either caps, leaders, or believe it or not, even four-star military mods sometimes. Just depends on the player. And the best way I know for crafting the four-star mods, or I should say scrapping, I should say, is trying to get the between I would say 20 the minimum and have high intelligence. Now this doesn't work all the time. It's just like 20 plus, unless you want to try a little Sounds hack and go a different way. I don't not suggest it because Bethesda has now been banning players the last few seasons for doing this. But honestly, it's extremely hard to get these throughout the raid. And now they're going to be adding more of these four-star luxury mods into the raids soon. I'm kind of hoping they make it possible for us to actually just randomize them as we put on our weapons and armor pieces as we go along. I'm hoping that's coming in the next season or two, say 24 or 25. I'm not sure. It's be a good way of going through. Hey, you've been through this for a whole year. We're going to let you randomize since you can't really grab them throughout the raids because we cannot get past that drill. It's still an issue, and I barely get a team to because I'm actually the bowman on the drill defending it, and I can't get any fellow players to run past the ultrasight miners. It's quite frustrating, at least to find someone who's already done it and go through with them. That and actually getting other players to actually go with you into the raids. I don't know. I'm not sure what the plan was, but yeah. And if anyone actually needed any, say, Rangers or any of these other four-star mods I do have learned, all I ask is actually having, say, 120 random modules, boxes, say, of armor piercing, anything that's easy for you to craft, or say you got from the raids and you just want to get a better mod box for your mods. I don't mind as long as I can make another four-star legendary mod. That's all I ask. I don't ask for the steel scrap because I know we can't trade that for Perel. But legendary mod boxes say, and what I mean by that is say one store. It's three legendary modules. So pretty much any random one store I'll take, say 40 of these, and I can give you, say, Rangers or Pale. I don't care as long as I can make another one for another player. If it was, say, a two-star, now you're talking about six. I only need 20. As long as I have enough to make another lettering box, I don't mind. The best ones are actually the three-star ones with 12 because I only need 10. I do not suggest trading me a four-star because that's pretty much giving me another four-star for a four-star. It doesn't make sense because it's more of me ripping you off, and I don't like doing that. And besides, even if that was the case, if you give me five for one four-star box that you don't need, I could see someone trading me, say, a useless four-star mod like bullies, because it's quite easy to come across in the raids. But I don't want to just take someone's legendary mod that they don't have just for something they might or may not like. Because quite honestly, even with all these right here, I got hopefully hit 20 just to start scrapping them with the full team and so forth, and hopefully learn the plan. That's how I'm going with this, and that's how I learned my Rangers mod before. I'm hoping the same um, code to unlocking these plans is still there since they were unlocked. I don't think so. I think there's a few other issues here and there, but hey. And no, I'm not going to be trading some of them unless I have the full-star plan itself unlocked. These are the ones I'm willing to trade with other players because I can craft them for them, and then I can just make the material. The only one I can't really make the easiest is those legendary modules. So unless someone needs them, like Papel, Rangers, and I think that's only because the rest of these weapon ones right here, fractures and circles and conductors, are all stuff you can get throughout the game itself. Or I should say the weapons you get through the raids, the plans you get. That's what I'm trying to say. So, I hope this all helps everyone with their game experience. I try to make it as simple as I can. I might just make another video about the four-star mods and what you can get from the raids that we did get almost a year ago. So with that, thank you for watching and have a nice day.